Good evening. School board members, Superintendent Boothby, staff members, family, friends, and most importantly, our senior class, welcome to the 2022 Bucksport High School Commencement Ceremony. My name is Josh Tripp, and I am the principal here at Bucksport High School. Tonight, we will honor the culmination of a tremendous amount of hard work by our students. Tonight is a celebration of all that is good about education, our students, and the people that help them along the way. To celebrate these students, we need to recognize the efforts of a community that helped get them to this point. These students would not be here if it were not for the support of the numerous people who have interacted with them throughout their educational journey, and I would like to take a minute to acknowledge their role in this class's success. Thank you to our school board members, Superintendent Boothby, and the rest of the administrative team for the time and support that you put into our school and students. I'd also like to give a very big shout out to all of the workers behind the scenes, our nurses, custodial staff, and maintenance staff, kitchen crew, bus drivers, and many, many others. To Mr. Morrill and our entire technology department, thank you for the countless hours you put in this year, from fixing laptops or for streaming events such as this one, so that we can include as many people as possible. To Mrs. Lanfer and Mrs. Scala, thank you for the countless hours that you put in to prepare for these year-end celebrations. Of course, I'd be remiss without mentioning our amazing teachers and support staff who have worked so hard with these students. I truly appreciate how dedicated you are as professionals. You put in countless hours teaching, mentoring, and now celebrating with these seniors. It is an honor to work with such a phenomenal staff of educators. Thank you. To all of the parents and family members of our graduating seniors, this event celebrates the time and dedication that you have put into helping your student get to this point. Being a parent of a teenager is hard under normal circumstances, but you have been charged with the task of helping your child deal with the grief of missing out on traditional rites of passage, the struggles of an entirely new educational environment, and helping them plan for an unknown and changing future. I do not have individual diplomas for all of you, but we greatly appreciate all of the support that you have provided the last 4 years. Seniors, I want you to take this moment right now, even if it's just a wave, a nod, or a smile, to say thank you and I love you to the people that you have with you tonight. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, thank you, class of 2022. Thank you for your contributions to our school, for trusting us to provide you with a challenging education, and for making us better educators. Within this class, we have future radiology technicians, engineers, electricians, plumbers, nurses, anthropologists, welders, social workers, teachers, carpenters, zoologists, and many other careers. We also have students that are joining the United States Navy and Marine Corps. The future is very bright for this talented group of students. 8 years ago, in the Bucksport Middle School auditorium, I spoke to all of you for the first time as your principal when you were fifth graders. Having spent my entire career teaching and coaching high school students prior to going to the middle school, I remember thinking at that moment that I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I could not begin to fathom how I was going to connect with students as young as you were. Looking back, I feel extremely fortunate that you were the first fifth grade class that I got to connect with. You helped me more than I can ever begin to express in this speech on how to be a principal. You taught me the importance of patience, authenticity, and the need to maintain a sense of humor. You have continued to do that throughout your high school years, and I will be ever grateful for our experiences together. In my speeches up to this point, I have tried very hard to avoid talking about the pandemic because I have never wanted it to define a class and their educational experience. However, I do want to bring to light the extraordinary efforts that you all put into receiving these diplomas this evening. Collectively, you have advocated for yourselves so that you could get as much out of your education as possible. In the toughest of times, you were leaders within our school. Instead of complaining about masking or hybrid schedules, you became thinking partners to make the situation better. Instead of being bitter about a situation beyond your control, you celebrated every positive that you could. By your cooperation, resiliency, and optimism, you made Bucksport High School a place that we all wanted to be, regardless of the circumstances. Speaking of our high school culture and climate, the words "be the tradition" have become a mantra for us here at Bucksport High School. It is a phrase that Mr. Ward has used a lot when talking with student athletes and coaches. One of the newer traditions we have here at BHS is having someone from our publications class come up with the name of my graduation speech. This is mostly done because they need the title for the program and they are tired for waiting for me to write it. So thank you, Angelina Catoni, for the title and some inspiration. When reflecting on our school's history, it's apparent that Bucksport High School is rich in tradition. These traditions are evident both in our academic achievements as well as our extracurricular activities. We have a long-standing history of successful alumni who have flourished personally and professionally. We have a tradition of successful athletic programs, and this class has contributed to that with their Northern Maine championships in soccer and football, state championships in outdoor and indoor track, individual state championships in track and wrestling, and hopefully we'll be adding to those accomplishments. Equally important, we traditionally have the best band around that everybody wants to come hear, and you'll have that opportunity to enjoy hearing them one more time tonight. They have won multiple medals and honors at jazz and all-state festivals the past 4 years. We are known for outstanding drama performances, where we have placed at regional festivals. Every year, we have the public come to enjoy the pieces of art created by our extremely talented students. We have quickly been recognized as having one of the top robotics teams in New England. Every in-person event that they have attended since 2020, they have earned second place. We are known for giving back to our community and understanding its importance. This class has performed over 5,200 hours of community service, half of which was done during a pandemic. Speaking to the importance of tradition, American philosopher Michael Novak said that tradition lives because young people come along who catch its romance and add new glories to it. The class of 2022 has caught the romance of building relationships and helped us to build new BHS traditions. When trying to write this speech, I wanted to add some student voice and not just quote philosophers such as Mr. Novak. So I asked the senior English classes to send me some of their own quotes centered around this theme. Now I got quite a list, and I had a pretty good laugh at many of them. So while I'll only be including a couple of them, I did want to address a few of the ones that were sent to me. Kai and Tai, I did not play the cowbell in high school. No, Sione, I will not be sharing any quotes from the movie Step Brothers. And yes, Cam, I will take you up on that ice cream, especially since you're buying. There were some really powerful and meaningful quotes that I would like to share. Willa Fox said that the best part of my high school experiences was the tradition. I had school choice, but I knew if I went to Bucksport, I would have relationships with all of my teachers, know everyone in the school and everything about them, and be recognized as a student and person that I am. All of that became reality at BHS. Will Bissonnette commented on how his perspective changed over the years and said, "When you first go to high school, it feels like a pain or a chore, that you could say. I realized the further you go into it, the more you appreciate it. I can say high school was not a chore, it was a privilege." And our two wonderful foreign exchange students from France, Lily and Dory, sent me this: "Tout est dur avant d'être facile," which translates into "all is difficult before it is easy." As I read through your words, it became clear to me that you weren't all thinking about tradition on your last few days of school. However, these words helped me realize what being the tradition at BHS is really about. It is being an independent thinker and blazing your own path. It is also about embracing your individuality. Our tradition is understanding who you are and who you want to be. You clearly identified that the best part of BHS are the people within it: your friends, your teammates, your teachers, your coaches. You identified a community that is the backbone of the BHS tradition. You all embody this tradition and represent all of the best parts of Bucksport High School. So in closing, I want to give you one last challenge. As you proceed into the next stages of your life, you will be creating your own traditions, whether it be in your profession or with your family and friends. Be careful, because there is danger in following traditions without understanding them. T.S. Eliot said that a tradition without intelligence is not worth having. I challenge you to use your education and intelligence to develop and enhance meaningful traditions that will positively impact your own lives and the community around you. Continue to be the tradition. To the Bucksport High School class of 2022, I sincerely want to say thank you. I will miss all of you. And as always, go Bucks.
Hello, my name is Catherine Hunter, and I am the advisor for the class of 2022. Congratulations to you, the class of 2022. What a journey. Our original hope was to raise money for a class trip, and we were off to a great start. But due to unforeseen circumstances, we found ourselves with a little bit of money, but nowhere to go. This group rallied and decided that they would instead throw an epic end-of-the-year party here at the school with fun games, good food, and of course, excellent company. I would like to take a moment to recognize all of the class officers over the last 4 years for their hard work and dedication to their class. I would now like to invite the current class officers to join me on stage. President Nathan Palaskis, Vice President Jimbo Palki, Treasurer Angelina Catoni, Secretary Alyssa McGuire. Thank you all for all the endless meetings and Zoom calls, flexibility with change, and dedication to your class. Thank you to the parents of the class of 2022 for all of your support through the various fundraising opportunities. Thank you to the class of 22 for your support and community awareness. Go Bucks!
Good job, Senator. In this moment, I would like to request that Dr. Tripp and Mr. Ward please rise. The class of 2022 wishes to thank Dr. Tripp and Mr. Ward for their unparalleled devotion to our lives. Without their attendance, the fluidity of all occurrences here at Bucksport High School would quickly diminish. Thank you, Dr. Tripp, for your continuous understanding and unrivaled competence. While I'm certain that coffee helps, I still cannot quite understand how you're so on top of your responsibilities. Our gratitude, too, goes out to Mr. Ward. Your chipper attitude and enthusiasm, along with your constant ability to assist those that need it, is a trait that we could all use. Without you, there is no telling what would happen to the communal morale. Saving the best for last, though he could not be present today, I would like to thank Mr. Boothby and additional administrators. They are truly the hidden figures and the pillars of our education. Thank you.
All right, where's my... All right. What's up and good evening? I'm the Vice President of the 2022 class, James Pelkey. And our class of 2022 wishes to thank all the teachers that have helped us grow and improve during our time in Bucksport. For the past 13 years, your support and dedication to our education has not gone unnoticed. It is the reason that we are here today in these spiffy purple gowns. Miss Lenore and Miss McHale, please stand. Where are they at? Oh, there they are. Hello. We'd love to also thank you guys especially for being so awesome. The positive energy given off by these two wonderful women is always one of the best ways to start off the day. Every time you have a question, every time you need an answer, or just want to say hi, there will always be two wonderful smiles right there in the office of Bucksport High School. So again, thank you for all that you have done for us. Much love, the class of 22.
Hi, I'm Alyssa McGuire. I'm the class of 2022 secretary. With the following, please stand up. Miss Hunter, Miss Lamfer, and Miss Scala. The class of 2022 would like to thank all of you. Miss Hunter, thank you for helping with all of our fundraising and organization of every event that we hosted. Even though we weren't able to go on a senior trip, the money put into the senior barbecue was well worth all the fundraising. We would also like to thank Miss Lamfer and Miss Scala for all the preparation and patience that was put into class night and graduation. We would not be standing here today without you two. Thank you all.
Hi, my name is Angelina Catoni, and I am the treasurer for the class of 2022. The class of 2022 would like to recognize the following people. When I call your name, please stand. Miss Lozier, Miss Davis, and Mr. Pelletier. We would like to thank the Guidance Department, Ms. Lozier, Ms. Davis, and Mr. Pelletier for all their hard work in helping us stay informed with their email blasts, applying for college, scholarships, employment, and choosing challenges classes that will prepare us for our future.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Hanscom, and I'm the second honor essayist for Bucksport High School's class of 2022. I'm standing up here talking to you all today because Mr. Tripp informed me that I'm not allowed to respectfully decline. When thinking about giving this speech, not much came to mind as I was so nervous. I then realized that giving this speech is a lot like leaving high school. Although both are scary, you're given the opportunity to say or do anything you want, with not only a speech but with the rest of your life. Now that we have completed high school, we have the freedom to choose what, when, and how we want to continue our lives. This could be in the form of entering the workforce, studying at a post-secondary level, or just small things like planning your day-to-day schedule. One of the most exciting things about leaving high school is leaving behind the grading scale. For the past 4 years of our lives, our success has been measured on a scale from 0 to 100, A through F, pass or fail. There is no letter or number that can ever accurately represent everything you have accomplished in these past 4 years. Today is not just a celebration of receiving your diploma, it is a celebration of everything that you have accomplished leading up to it. You are sitting here today because you have dedicated so much of your time and effort into this school, not only through academics, but through clubs, sports, friends, and so much more. Every single thing you have done to lead you to this moment is deserving of celebration, no matter how big or small it may be. Accomplishment and success can be whatever you make it to be. For some people, it might be a new job, a nice salary, or a new car. But I believe success, in its simplest form, is when we are happy with the life we have created for ourselves. And creating this life can start right now. Now, I know I'm not really qualified to give unsolicited life advice, but I will say that when you move on from BHS, make decisions that make you happy. Maybe it's deciding your career path, who your friends are, or just deciding what to make for dinner. So now that the dreaded speech is done, we get to move on to the even scarier part, leaving high school. Even though it can be nerve-wracking, when you walk out of this school for the last time, take the good with you, leave the bad behind, and go on to whatever makes you happy. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Liam Swift, the first honors essayist for the graduating class of 2022 at Bucksport High School. Graduation is a commemoration of the 4 years of work we've put in, a final celebration before it's over and we move on. When I found out that I was going to be giving a speech at graduation, I was told that this would be my opportunity to say what I want about my experience here, that I'd finally get to leave my mark on this school. But no one really remembers these speeches after a couple of days. What really matters isn't what we said at graduation, or which specific classes we took, or even which groups we hung out with. The importance of these will fade with time. But the lifelong friends we made, the values we obtained, and the lessons we learned from teachers who, in the 4 short years they knew us, were willing to go the extra mile, these are what will stay with us beyond this stage. Throughout my time here, there are many people who I feel have gone above and beyond what could be expected of them as teachers, coaches, or mentors. And I'd like to take this opportunity to mention just a few specific people who have helped me achieve my success and who have contributed to making me into the person I am. First, I would like to acknowledge former JMG instructor Shane Boys. In the 1 year I had Mr. Boys, he played an integral part in ensuring my future success. And this wasn't just because of the lessons he taught in class. As some of you may know, I, along with many others in our class, gave up on school when we went online in March 2020. But instead of just occasionally emailing me, Mr. Boys truly advocated for me. He even brought me into the school in the last week to help me complete my classes. It's common for someone to say they couldn't have made it without someone, but in this case, I truly would not be here if it weren't for Mr. Boys. Next, I'd like to acknowledge band director Mark Neslusen. Ness is an incredibly devoted and hardworking teacher. He's given me the opportunity to participate in pep band, concert band, and jazz. He's taught me the importance of working in a group and of being confident despite self-doubt. And he's shown, time and time again, what true dedication looks like, which is something that I hope to emulate. I can confidently say that Ness, with his niche references and complex metaphors, is a teacher that I will never forget. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge my coach, Chris Jones. Mr. Jones has done more for me in 4 years than I could say. He has coached me in cross country since the summer before freshman year. He dedicated hours every day to the team after school and worked with each runner individually to ensure their success. It was this effort that he put into the team that allowed me to improve and that made me into a leader on the team this last year. The care that Mr. Jones put into improving the team and the lessons he taught me as an individual are things that will stay with me forever. Class of 2022, as you leave here today, take a minute to consider the people who have helped you get to this point, the people who, without them, you couldn't have made it. Consider the ways they encouraged you, the ways they taught you, and the ways they challenged you. Then, take a minute to congratulate yourselves for putting in the effort, despite setbacks on the individual and global scales, and pushing through to achieve this monumental accomplishment. We've made it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Keniston, and I am the Salutatorian for Bucksport High School's graduating class of 2022. Thank you all for being here. First off, I would like to once again congratulate the class of 2022. Despite the chaos that has been the past few years, graduation has finally arrived. Yay us! As my final moments of high school began ticking away faster and faster, I began feeling a bit nostalgic, and I spent a lot of time reminiscing, as I'm sure a good majority of you have as well. One memory in particular I kept thinking back to is actually one from middle school. Allow me to set the scene. It was early June of my 8th grade year, way back in 2018. Everyone was antsy for summer vacation to finally arrive, and our ability to focus was dwindling to an all-time low. I remember my social studies teacher at the time, Mrs. Short, had everyone in my class write down a goal they had for high school or for the future in general. I remember very distinctly writing down that for my goal, I wanted to be valedictorian for the class of 2022 at Bucksport High School. I remember feeling embarrassed after I wrote it, not because being valedictorian is something to be embarrassed about, it's something to actually be incredibly proud about. No, I was embarrassed because I didn't think I was smart enough. I was middle school smart, sure, but high school smart? There's no way. High school teachers are notorious for assigning 50 pages of homework a night, and they are much stricter than middle school teachers. I'll be lucky to graduate. But now, here I stand, the salutatorian for the Bucksport High School class of 2022. It's not the goal that I set for myself, but it's certainly not something to be embarrassed about. And as I'm getting closer to the transition from high school to college, I've fallen down the rabbit hole once more. I'm high school smart, sure, but college professors are notorious for assigning 100 pages of homework a night, and are much stricter than high school teachers. I'll be lucky to graduate. But as I begin to fill with worry that I will inevitably fail and have to drop out of college, I try to remember the lesson that I have learned. I am a lot more capable than I think, and I shouldn't underestimate myself. This is the advice I have for you, my fellow graduates. Do not underestimate yourself. Whatever goal, whatever dream you have for yourself, don't feel embarrassed about it. Don't cast it off to the side as some fantasy. Work on it, take some steps towards it, take some steps back, and take your time. There's absolutely no rush. Today marks the first day of the rest of our lives. So as you begin your journey out into the world and face the challenges along the way, don't underestimate yourself. You are a lot stronger and a lot more capable than you think. Thank you.
I'd like to start off by thanking those who spoke before me, as now I don't have to be the one to break the ice. Most of you already know who I am, as there have been many newspaper articles, but for those who don't, I am Emma Howard, or just M, as in the formula for the slope of a line, M equals rise over run. It's the nickname that stuck back in 6th grade. It might surprise you to know that speaking here today was not my goal when I started high school. I was aiming just to make it out alive. As you all can tell, I reached that goal as I stand before you today as the Valedictorian. It wasn't an easy road that got me to where I am today. I encountered a number of bumps along the way, and no, I don't mean the potholes along Broadway. The bumps I'm referring to can be summarized as numerous occurrences of miscommunication, high school drama, and life deciding to throw me for yet another loop. My freshman and sophomore years were relatively uneventful. That is, until the pandemic disrupted the flow of things. I have trouble remembering life pre-COVID. To be honest, the 2 years we've been dealing with this have felt more like 20. Or maybe that has more to do with the fact I've taken classes from roughly 5 different schools in that time. At the end of sophomore year, I applied for the Bridge Academy program through the Hancock County Technical Center. The main objective of Bridge is to prepare students for college. I was accepted and have spent the last 2 years completing that program. Participating in Bridge has been a great experience, but it complicated my school schedule significantly. For the last 2 years, I have spent roughly 3 hours a day traveling between BHS, HGTC, and the Ellsworth High School, where I've been taking modified classes through the University of Maine. To better prepare myself for my chosen major, sorry about that, I have taken courses outside of Bridge as well. I now have over 20 college credits. Thankfully, there were scholarships and programs to assist me, but I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today without my friends and family to support me. Know that I appreciate all who helped me reach my goals, even if there wasn't time today to mention everyone. I'd like to take the time to thank 3 of the people in my life that have been tremendously supportive. First, thank you, Sissy, for always making time for me. If your throwaway pancake turned out this well, I can't wait to see how the other ones turn out. But most of all, thank you for not being people. Secondly, Petrulis, I'm glad to have been in biomed with you for the past 2 years. I'm glad to have left my mark on your class as well, which you're welcome for, all the unique occurrences that I caused with my peculiarities. Petrulis, I hope you know that my time with you has always been the highlight of my day, especially the bad ones. Most importantly, Papa, you have invested in me the most, waking up every morning to send me off to school, working around my hectic schedule, and having to deal with me essentially every day since I moved in when I was 7. Living with you has taught me a lot, and I can never thank you enough for everything that you've done for me. The best I can do is show you everything I was able to accomplish with your support. You've made it to this graduation, and I'll make sure you have a chance to attend my college graduation as well. Now, to my peers, I hope you all can find what you deserve in life. To the teachers and staff, you've successfully sent another round of students off to become the adults that you helped educate. And to the rest of you here today, I hope things work out how you're expecting. Good day.
RSU 25 school board members and Superintendent Boothby, it is with great pleasure that I present to you these candidates for graduation. I hereby certify that the students receiving diplomas tonight have met all of the graduation requirements set forth by the school board and the state of Maine. Will school board member Mr. Tom Foster and Mr. Ward please join me on stage for the presentation of diplomas.
Nicholas Barca. Henry Rose Nichols. Hunter Ellis. Ronald Bishop. Kevin Colt Courtney. Aziz M. Yunez. Adam Damon. Isaac Duke. Benjamin K. Branch. Caleb Nightingale.
Great job, Caleb.
Jimbo Paulkey. Nathan James Polaskis. Caitlin Collins. Melissa Elaine Wortham. Kimberly Rose Parent. Angelina Marie Catoni. Johanna Sherry Stiles. Lily Knowlton. Emma May Vayu. Izzy Martin. Bree Rose Kirchis. Coda Bernhauser. Miles Carter. Kyle Eugene Gordon. Devin Troy Michael Giroux. Marcus Wortham. Kai Stewart Brown. Jacob Brzozowski. Jacob R. Coghill. Cody DuPont. Doug Libby. Xavier T. Morrison. Lily Catherine Ream. Trinity Murch. Michaela Faith Pekoski. Lily Gaultier LaSalle. Dory Langlet. Willa Shine Fox. Lily Anna Chase Hurd. Riley Ann Bonapani. Abigail H. Lindsay. Paige Susan Anderson. Lori T. Carter. Liam Aiden Connor Swift. Kyle I. Cloutier. Jacob G. Goody. Zachary Levesque. Connor James Smith. Daryl Benjamin Lewis Gray. Ty Jordan Giberson. Joshua A. Miller. Colin E. Simpson. Thomas Thompson. Emily Nicole Hanscom. Grace DeBeck. Jillian Elizabeth Clement. Molly Marie Wilson. M. Howard. Emily Elizabeth Keniston. Kaylee Maria Tozier. Emma Olivia Freeman. Kimberly Grace Wilbur. Elizabeth Lynn Bernier. Nicholas R. Saunders. Donald A. Eldridge IV. Hugh K. Jack. Tyler Hallett. Cameron Stephen Rich. Camden Hutchins Hatch. Gage Worcester. William Paul Bissonette. Mason Forrest. Spencer Brown. Sione R. Tongatua. Zoe Rose Johnson. Julia Reese Porter. Rebecca Lynn Ireland. Asa Ruth Alley. Megan Lee Wallace. Helena May Winslow. Shaylin Autumn Robshaw. Faith Morgan Vincent. Justine Moores.
Alyssa Ray McGuire.